Hey folks, it's Zach, and I'm putting together an, average Joe, everyman's run of the Eternal Championship on Zakul. So anyway, you're not gonna hear me talking very much for this one. I'm gonna focus on the action, but I'm gonna try to give you guys some tips on how to run this if you are just a normal dude. You don't have raiding gear or anything like that. So right now, I'm already in the first fight, and this is kind of how I like to work it with. I have a companion in DPS stance, and then I have my sniper here in on this side it's called engineering. I'm sorry, I've been running a gunslinger quite a bit lately, so I might swap out the terms. Just be sensitive to that. All right, so I'm gonna collect loot here and loot and scoot. Grab round 2. Rounds 1 through 3, you're gonna see me do the same thing each time, which is to go ahead and keep my companion in DPS stance, and I'm just going to heal in between rounds while we're waiting for the bad guys. I'm also going to try to finely tune my companion to go after a specific DPS target and try not to pull off of them. That occasionally blows back up in my face. We'll see what happens. One of the nice things about this particular stance or spec is just that I can go ahead and start up things like orbital strike and flame probe on my bad guys ahead of time before the match actually even really starts. Alright, he's toast. Alright, and then we do gotta ramp up these last guys. What I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to pull these guys closer to the door to kill them, and that way I'm closer to the console. If you are trying to go for a speed run, things like this are essential. I'm not trying to do a speed run today. Or like the Deathless achievement. I'm just trying to show, a very average guy running through this. My gear is very basic. So is my companion. I'm not wearing like a super raid set or anything like that. All right, so for round 3, I'm going to focus in on Gungus Boga. I'm going to go ahead and use my companion on him right at the start. We're just going to completely ignore this Herald of Zildrog over here.
I will not countenance disrespect. Your life
I am strong.
judgment. Yes.
That's 3 up, 3 down. Combat doesn't end until those flames disappear. Alright, and now we're up for round 3. Again, you're not going to see me heal until the next bad guy gets summoned, like right now, and now I'll go ahead and heal. Alright, for this one, it's a little tricky. I would recommend having a companion in heal stance for this one, but other people, if you can damage these guys fast enough, then I say go for it. I'm going to DPS down Conrad, and I'm going to send my companion out on the worm here.
I've got evil terrors you've never seen before.
Alright, and we're going to go for Baroque.
Die already.
Gotta get out of that.
You're in over your head.
I'm going to leave my companion to be dealing with those animals until it gets to be a little too much for her. But I am going to throw out one flame dot over there to kind of help burn him down just a little bit. I should be done with this guy momentarily, and then I'll just go help her out. Alright. Of course, the acid has to come out in that hot second.
Feeling well.
Alright, she's getting kind of beat on. Might have to use this terminal here. If you need him, use him. That's all I can say about it. Alright, now he's finally chasing me. This is kind of what we wanted. Because I do have defensives here. So here's what I've noticed. If your companion is under level 20, then healing through this guy's strikes at the end after Conrad is down gets to be kind of problematic. If if your companion is over 20, then they seem to be able to get through it. There we go.
Master is dead. A day to remember in the arena grand, everyone.
we still got this guy up, sorry. There we go. I will say the difference between, say, 17 and 20 can actually be kind of a big difference in here. I've noticed that a lot of my rank 17 companions, I had one on my gunslinger, so it's basically like the same character but a different companion. Just couldn't do it. Just, you know, there was times and moments like that where the healing just wasn't enough. Alright, for this guy, I like to start a little bit behind him and throw down a Flame Dot and Orbital Strike, and this is to try to catch the droids that are about to be here. And I'm also going to use Heroic Moment on this particular battle. Alright. And that way I can just unload on this guy as quickly as possible. For this battle, speed is your friend. You know, the longer he's up, the more dangerous he gets. So just going for the early straight-on DPS victory win, I find, is typically the easiest way to kind of get through him. You can kind of grind him out a little bit too. I mean, that's definitely possible. It's just I don't think that's the preferred method from anyone's account to getting that done. Take care of these last few ads and we should be good. Alright, and that's 5. Alright. Got some exotic isotope stabilizer to that. Nice. I'm kind of making a stockpile of that. That's one of the ways that I build certain relics in the game. Alright, this is where things get tricky, and this is the make-you-break-you fight for soloing a companion. Everything up to now has pretty much been fun in games. This is where things kind of get difficult. I have a healing companion out. I want to send her on King Crush, and then I want to pick up both of these guys for myself. So I'm going to send her out. I'm not going to touch anything except the Flame Dot right there and hope that I get him. Oh, shoot. Not go the way I wanted. Alright, so my companion did not pick up Crush. I'm hitting V like crazy. That's my auto attack button for her. She is getting brawled. Alright, ideally, I want to get this guy and one of the monsters. And that way my companion isn't trying to heal through all those stacks on her. Alright, and I'm trying to get my companion to retarget so I can get this guy and the bad guy. Let's see if it worked. Alright, I think it may have worked. Alright, yep, I think we got it for right now. Oop, I'm gonna have to pop some heavy. Yeah, get out of there. Alright, so taking a lot of damage here. I gotta stay within my companion's heal range, which is kind of tough, and she's completely swamped. There we go. Ah, and I messed up my rotation too. Man, alright, like I said, this is not gonna be a perfect run today. Come to Papa. Don't really want to get any more stacks of that. The problem with that knockback is it can put you out of heal range sometimes, and that will get you killed. Like right now, I'm out of heal range. I can already feel it. All right, I'm just gonna bang on him then for a few seconds, and of course he just put untouchable as soon as I put down that. Okay. I don't really want to mess with that. Come on. Can't hit this guy too hard. Outside of his circle. Man, this fight's already gone a lot longer than I wanted it to. Oh, I'm gonna just try to push. Nope. Come on. This is why sometimes companions really piss me off in this game. They won't move and react like a player would, so just be aware that if your companion's being ultra stubborn like my Risha just was right there, you may have to move and just be aware of what their heal range is as opposed to where you want them to be. You could also put your companion into passive, and that will make them run to your position, if that is kind of the effect you're looking for. The other way of doing this right now, too, is to kind of strafe. Unfortunately, I'm on my gunslinger, so there's not a lot of that. One of the things you can do, though, is put him into lethality, and then lethality just basically keep your dots running, and as you try to maneuver around these guys, you know, the more you're in Breakdown Brawler Thetis' circle, the more stacks that you're getting. Alright. Ah! As soon as I hit my explosive probe, there we go. That's always painful. It's always right when you pop that really good cooldown that these guys end up getting knocked back. Superior players, which I am not right now, you know exactly how to time and their moves so that doesn't happen. But I've been pretty much out of this game for a while. All right, he's resisting, which means he's about to do his knockback. I'm just gonna step out and get healed up. There we go. All right, now we're gonna try to put the hurt on. All right. The crisis is basically averted. He's still going to hit me really hard because I'm gathering stacks like crazy. Not a lot of room for that, but my companion's right here to heal me through most of it. And this is where that, how high is your companion starts becoming kind of important. Alright, those stacks also will drop off when he does his knockback. He's doing Unbreakable. So. Yeah, so just be aware. Also, he doesn't take any new dots onto him while he's in that stance, getting ready for his big attack. So you can't be dotting him up while he's charging and looking to try to get the win that way. Alright, that is 6. I think we're up to Drake Raven now. And Nocturno. Yeah. So on this one, guys, pour everything you got onto Drake Raven. Don't even worry about Nocturna. What you are going to need to worry about is your own positioning with the mines that you're going to use as you get them on. You're going to see me do the same tactic a lot, which is to be just enough in front of Drake Raven so that I can, land a mine on him. Alright, so here's where the mines are going to go, and I'm going to try to hit and attack him in such a way that when Nocturno does run after me, I can just basically hide around those mines. Here she comes. Alright, and so here's me running her into a mine. See that? Okay, and now Drake has moved. Where is he now? There he is. Alright, so this is kind of my pattern a little bit here at the moment. I do this cleaner when I'm not trying to talk and do these things at the same time. Alright, I'm just going to try to unload on this guy really fast. Did not time this out well, but we're going to make it work. Keeping this between me and Nocturna. Perfect. There we go. That's how it's supposed to look. Doesn't hurt to be a little bit of a perfectionist on placing those things. Didn't quite beat the droids. Alright, so the droids are running to steal my companion. I'm going to drop a flame dot and a shield, and I'm going to try to burn through this droid as fast as possible. And then as these droids come back in, now I'm going to land my AoEs. Burn them all at the same time. It's a little risky, but, it's better than having your companion get knocked out for the fight, which will definitely mess you up. Alright, now that that's all done, you've got a few seconds of quick burn on Nocturna to just really heap on the damage. This is a great time for Bag of Tricks, or whatever the heck they call it on this side, to, make your damage resist to, what's it called here? Imperial Preparation. Alright, also, she's not immune to stuns, so as soon as this Force Lightning's done, I'm going to use Force Choke. If Kick was up, I'd use that. You could also grab Drake's Belt, which has a few moves on it to zip you around or stun you, but there we go. Got it. But that's pretty optional. I didn't feel like I had the time to grab it, so I didn't. I just kind of fought through it, and I did have Imperial Prep up, so I just used that. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to focus entirely on the Rancor, and I'm going to burn like a crazy man. If Heroic Moment comes up during this fight that I can use, I will. The big thing is that in Sab Spec, what I'm going to try to do is keep this guy near my Flame Dot, which is already becoming an issue. There we go. Way to go, Temple. Yeah, she really put the hurt on that guy. I'm way out of the range of that strike. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Alright. But here's one of the tricks, is I'm going to do my best to not just keep him in this Flame Dot, but when we get these handlers out, I'm going to try to keep the dot on him and the handler at the same time. Those handlers are kind of annoying, to be perfectly honest, and so anything you can do to kind of get them both is a good thing. Alright, I got knocked, but I'm good. Alright, so same strat. Gonna put that right there. AoE him. Alright, I'm just gonna eat these swipes for a sec. The handler's toast. Alright, we're almost through this. Again, I'm just gonna eat a few of these. Just because I have him in a good place on that dot. Oop, we're not gonna eat this one though. Alright, he is toast. Alright, now just gotta finish him off, and this round is done. Okay. So far, not my cleanest work, but no deaths. That's always a plus. Alright, next up. Begin the next round. Okay, we're in round 9. This is the Doombot. For this, I like to tank this guy facing away from my companion. So when I start this fight, I'm going to try to have my companion right here in the center. And I'm going to use that same startup on the next fight as well. Alright, we got 18 seconds. Alright, so the keys to this are movement for the mines, which are the big yellow mines he's going to pop out on me. When those start happening, I like to huddle around the door behind him. And you'll see me kind of do a little bit of a juke, shimmy, and shake to kind of keep those things away from my companion as much as possible. Alright, I'm dotting him up as I'm running. Alright, so far so good. Getting out of the big red laser. It's like you don't need much encouragement to want to get out of that thing, not by a long shot. All right, here are the mines I'm talking about. So I'm gonna juke a little bit, trying to keep him off my companion while keeping the pressure up on the Doombot. All right, I'm letting electrified railgun fall off way too much on this. All right, so another little trick. I'm gonna try to drop down my flame dot in between these two guys and hit both the assault droid, at least one of them, and the Doombot at the same time. Okay. Alright, we're getting the yellow circles. Alright, they do vary in size. Some of them are rather small, some of them are kind of large. But if you can tell by his health pool right now that, I mean, we're keeping pretty good constant pressure on. From here, I'm just going to drop in between two of these droids and lay out suppressive fire. And that you usually catch them both. My aim was a little off there. Here we go. Just like that. Now, while I have that time up, he can be dotted. While he's getting ready for pulse charge, I'm going to cover up behind, start up my dots, and that way when he comes out of it, we will be doing some nice damage. Oh, you bastard. Right in the middle of all of that. Okay. Only 80k left to go. We're almost out of here. Alright, we're starting to get the suicide droids. I'm going to try to get that assault unit caught in there too. Didn't quite make it. No matter what, just keep something going on the Doombot at all times. I'm just going to go for the win here. Just finish him off. We'll finish off the assault droid in a second. There we go. What else we still got? One more of these guys. Alright. Alright, but that was Doombot. Like I said, keep the pressure on him. You know, the reason I'm running this particular spec is so that I can fire and forget those plasma probes. It just puts pressure on at least one spot that I need it at any given time, whether that be on ads or on the boss. So it's a good spec to run, or at least I like it for this. You can also do sharpshooter or lethality. It's your choice, but just kind of keep that in mind. Is you want to keep pressure on some bosses, and you don't want to get caught too much up on the ads. You want to hurt them just enough. This one's definitely the trickiest of all the fights up thus far. I do have Heroic Moment, and I do have Unity, which I will probably end up using both through this fight. What I'm going to try to do is the similar strat. I'm going to try to tank him facing away from my companion here. This gets a little tricky. especially if I get knocked back in the door. But this way I should be within heal range of my companion, and with the big yellow circle it should be on me, and that way I should be able to keep it off of the consoles here for healing. At least that's the goal. It doesn't always go according to plan like I'd like, so here we go. Yeah, if you get too close to this guy's feet, he will stomp at you, and it's not a love tap stomp. It's a pretty rough stomp. So I try to avoid that. I'm also going to try to catch this these two droids in the same arcing fire. Mixed results. Can't focus too much on these ads. You're going to eat some damage here for sure. Just be aware of it. This is not the perfect scenario for you, but I'm aiming just to push this guy to 50% as quickly as possible. I want that boss to drop out. It's kind of like a miniature version of Kefis from EC. I'm gonna try to catch these probes in there if I can. It's not getting tremendous results with that, but these probes are kind of a pain in the butt. The reason I want this one done before 50% is because this is the direction I'm gonna have to run when Kefis is out. I'm calling him Kefis already. Whoops. Here he comes. Alright, so this is the really tricky part. Okay, I'm going to pop Heroic Moment for this, pop this guy back, make sure that he's targeted, and now I'm going to start using my stuns, because he is stunnable. Alright, and you're going to want to use what you got, man. Alright, I got to get out of this. This guy is just kind of a bastard. If you have a bunker, a hunker down, whatever they call it on this side, you're going to want to use it. Alright, so this is the really tricky part. I'm going to go ahead and pop Imperial Preparation. Alright, bunker up, and throw out my shield. It's a lot, but the damage that's coming from this thing is pretty sick. If I get major trouble, I'll also go ahead and pop Evasion. Alright, suffer through that. Getting ready for the big yellow circle. See, my companion's in just a good enough range to where I can kind of get out of most of this. Oof, that still hurt a little bit more than I wanted. Doesn't matter. Again, now that Zotor's out, we're going to be on him. Alright. I'm having trouble targeting him right now. Alright, I got my Force Choke up. I'm going to use it. I didn't know I could switch those on my hotbar. Come on, man. Throw me bone here. Alright, he's at 50. I'm rolling into the center. And my companion's already there, kind of in the safe zone. Alright, I'm going to try to work on these guys a little bit. And maybe catch a fire support droid in here. Make my life a little easier. I'm going to hit evade. Try to evade through some of this. And remind myself to lock my hotbars better. Alright, I got to get out of this yellow circle. That one's definitely very bad. Alright, I'm gonna pop Unity. This is a good time for it. I don't like Sacrifice hardly ever. That's the other one you can get out of the Heroic Moments if you've done through Imperial. Alright, he is done. Now we just gotta live through this. Awesome. That's it. That's all she wrote. And I got the Deathless achievement for that. That was awesome. Alright guys, that's kind of the average guy's run through this. So the keys, again, I like a dot spec. That's just me. Other people might be able to do a lot more burst in other specs, and that's fine. This is kind of what works for me and what I like to do and how I like to do it. I'm going to turn in this quest really fast so that my timer finishes off, and I'll explain the rest as I go. I do recommend having a companion that's at least affection level 20, influence level 20. That seems to be the right enough that you can't be stupid and not standing too much, but you can eat a few shots that you know you might need to eat. I do like gunslingers and snipers for this quite a bit, but I've heard of people having really amazing success on every class, so it's not really dependent on that. What I do like about snipers and gunslingers is, though, you do get a pretty good chunk of defense just by being in cover, and a nice variety of DPS options. If you're also fast at spec switching, You can also choose to switch specs between rounds. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was, again, my run of the Eternal Championship as a sniper. This is, again, an engineering stance. And again, with not really anything special as far as gear. My gear isn't really completely optimized or fine-tuned. It's really just basic gear with an old set bonus armoring piece. So if I could do it, without dying, then you guys can certainly do it too. Just as usual, watch your feet. Alright guys, if you found this video helpful, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I will see you next time.